Hello everybody, welcome to Kendo Tips. My name is Jose, I am a Godan in Kendo, and today we're going to be talking about Kendo. Let me know how you guys are doing today. How has your practice been? I want to say first of all, good luck and do your best to the people that are right now in Vegas testing. I mean, they will be testing I believe tomorrow, but they're doing the seminar today. And I wish to know who was attending, who passes and all this stuff. And if anybody here will be there for the testing, just let me know, it'll be awesome. If you haven't already, please take a second to hit the like button to make sure that I know that you're here, and also it really helps this video get pushed out to people. Let me tell you the plan for today. Today the plan is going to be, I'm going to play a video I found from Takanabe Sensei on basics and different approaches and different techniques, and advance all the way to maybe Begashira and all other waza that you can use in your Jigeiko, but just kind of study a little bit about how he does it, how he performs it, and just pick up to see what can we learn from that and make it our own. So I hope you guys enjoy that part. I hope you guys benefit from it. And I watched this video a while back, and it's one of those videos that I can kind of keep going back to whenever I'm stuck at doing something, some basics, when I'm trying to improve my kendo, I'm trying to improve my basics. I try to go back to one of these reference videos. There are three good ones out there that I enjoy. If you know another one, just let me know. One is with Teramoto Sensei, and I really like that one as well. One is with Takenouchi, and then this one with Takanabe. There's also one with Miyazaki, but that one's a little bit harder. I guess not that hard to find on YouTube. But yeah, so today I chose Takanabe. I'm gonna try to keep it brief, try to keep it short and direct. So let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help you with. The Discord server, we have a Discord server that I don't know why it didn't pop up. And let me just send you, let me put up a link to the Discord server, because what I do sometimes, we do live streams and you guys can join me in a voice chat and we can discuss, especially for live tournaments. And if you'd like to be part of that, I'm gonna leave the link out in the description, not in the description, the comments. Give me 1 second. I have no idea why the bot is not working, but here's the Discord server. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you guys join me. Anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna just transition into watching today's video and start watching today's video. I also have another small video with some Jigeiko practice that maybe you will find interesting. Let's see if we can make it there though, because this video is kind of long, so I'm gonna skip a lot of the stuff, but if you want me to stop at one of them, just let me know. Oh, Pokemon, yes, it is in the Discord, it's in the description. I feel like sometimes it's easier for people to click down up here. It's easier for people to click up here, just in case. In the description below too is also the link to become a member to the channel. So if you would like to do that, you can follow that link and you will get a couple of extra perks that hopefully will make it more entertaining, more interesting for you to be here. Anyways, you have to get that metal music from the all Kendo videos. I think you are able to find this video on YouTube if you just type Takanabe Kendo Basics. I feel like that's how I found it this time. But I really like Takanabe's Kendo. I feel that it's one of the type of Kendo, that we should follow Kendo and we should learn from all type of Kenshi, right? But there's always somebody that you can kind of relate more to, or you feel that their Kendo is more natural to what you do. And I feel like this is one of those cases, for me at least. I really like his Kamae, I really like his approach. Ando is another one that I really like as well. And of course, Kunitomo, as you guys know. Okay, so the video is divided into different sections and they kind of do a little bit of a demonstration. And maybe what I wanted to do is just go around this video and try to pick up some of the things that he's doing and see how we can improve our kendo practicing like him, I guess. My voice sounds a little bit weird. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry. So the first thing that I always try to build everybody up at the dojo is doing this type of suburi, where if you see the hands are not moving before the body, right? And as a matter of fact, the body's moving or the legs is moving slightly before the the hands. And this is something that I feel like you need to put in your repertoire. So if you watch, I'm gonna go frame by frame. In this one, you see he's making a full extension and the hands and the legs moved pretty much almost the same time. And then at the moment of impact, the left leg is kicking in with full extension on the hands, right? And re-engaging the left leg to keep going forward if he needed to. I don't know if that's clear. I don't know if you know what I mean. That you want to be ready to go forward if you need to, even when you're suburi. You want to practice this because a lot of times happens that when you're practicing, people tend to forget the left leg because they know they're gonna go backwards, so they don't train that muscle to anchor into the position. So I see a lot of times people do suburi, and then because they know they're gonna go backwards, the left foot comes in, but comes in a little bit lazy, or it just doesn't engage. And I think it's very important to making sure. I think it's very important to make sure that you engage your left foot because it's going to be the training for your kihon, for your. It's going to be the training for all your techniques. So when you do man, kote man, your fluidity after your strike starts being trained right here. So if you're already coming in and not really sinking or not really engaging that left leg, you're kind of losing practice time, if that makes any sense. And then when he goes back, he makes long steps. He's not doing those little short steps. Right now, it's the time to train your reach, your step. You want to do a strong and extended suburi. When you're building up, when you're earlier in your kendo, maybe you don't want to do them this long because you're gonna lose stability, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, but you want to build yourself up to this. You want to do a long step, not just a short step or not even like a natural step. You want to really push yourself out there. Okay, let me put up the volume for this a little bit more. So now he's doing Senshin Kotai, right? So he's going forward and backwards with the men. It hasn't changed. If you look, the left leg and the right leg are moving together. The right leg is pushing in as he's going for the attack. He's not moving the hands first. So look at the left leg. When he goes forward, he engages it as if he's going forward again. It's part of the training. Sajumen. I get a big question a lot. I get a lot of questions about Sajumen because people kind of have a little bit of a. It's a little bit of a problem for people to understand that you need to do your Sajumen, but your hands don't need to leave the center, right? So you gotta come in with an angle, but your hands cannot or shouldn't leave the center. And if you see here, that's what's happening. Now, quick little point. Hold on, let me just close the door real quick. Okay. One thing that you want to there's something that maybe the interpretation of the center line that I don't know how you guys see it. I don't know how you guys understand the center line and how it was explained to you. How thick specifically is the center line? So a lot of people think that it's kind of like the thickness of like dental floss or something like this, right? But the way I was taught is that the center line is about the width of my fist. So if you see Takanabe here, he is moving his left hand, yes, but he's not leaving that fist wide center line, right? The left knuckle still in there. And the other thing is that he's getting full extension. We're gonna see it in the next. Again, very strong, very good kiai. Oh, hold on, let me move this. I like how they're doing this angle. Hold on. Very good and very strong kiai. Now, the main thing, the main problem that I see sometimes with people doing Sajumen is when they cut towards their own left side, they tend to do. Let me actually go into full screen right here. Okay. When they do this, when they do the cut to the left, they end up getting out of the center, going out this way, and losing reach, right? Like this. So you don't want to do that. You want to still be on the center line, coming in forward, not out of the center. Hope that makes sense. Okay. The video. So now we're seeing a little bit of an angle, of course, because doing it side to side, it's really hard to understand that he's doing Sajumen. So there's something very interesting that's happening here is that he's doing it very strong, right? He's doing the suburi with a lot of power. He's getting a snap at the end, but then after you see how the tip kind of shakes a little bit, he's holding it there, but he's not putting extra pressure. So he's relaxing after the hit. He's trying at least to not tense up his muscles unnecessarily after the hit. So you see, there's a little bit of tension, but then the relaxation. I don't think we practice this enough, and this is something that I feel it has a lot of benefits on doing continuous attacks forward. And again, it's understanding that engagement of the left leg, knowing that you have to re-engage it as quick as possible and give power to your body to keep going. So, Hasuburi, very, very nice Hasuburi. Let's work it out a little bit. So, the main mistake that I see people have on Hasuburi, one is kind of they hop in place, right? They just hop up and down. And the other one, it's the left leg. As you see, he's landing with both legs, both sides. Very nice, very nice. So this is something to keep in mind. When you do Hayasuburi, make sure that you land with both legs. Look, both legs land and then both legs land. Right? Now, it's interesting how on the way forward, if you see, he pushes left. Okay, that was the last one. Let's go a little bit back. Okay. So when he lands forward, he pushes with the left and the right one gets there first, right? But on the way back, it's kind of a little bit of the same. Going backwards is a little bit different than going forward, but I guess we can talk about that at some other point. Very nice transition into the men. Be honest, when's the last time you guys did this type of suburi? I think We did this at the dojo maybe like a few weeks ago. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, I think. Great exercise for your core. Main thing, I think they're gonna do a side shot, and this is the thing that, yeah. So you want to go down when you do this exercise. You want to go down straight forward. You don't want to bend forward. You don't want to lose your stability as you go down. Very, very important. Very important. Ah, very interesting, Subudi. This, and I like how, he's doing it both sides. This is very important to always do this both sides. You want to strengthen your whole body. Especially this will help with stability when you cross your leg with your left leg forward. But main thing here is, okay, hold on. When he's doing this, he's not leaning forward, landing all the weight onto the right leg. Normally, when I like to do this exercise, I like to keep the left heel down more. So I have two variations. I have this one, and then also the one where you push yourself forward. So I think the one pushing yourself forward is really good to understand how to do fumikomi and fumikiri properly. And for that, you need to lower down your heel because you need to push forward with your left leg first before you put the weight on the right. Main thing here is that he's not landing forward, he's landing down, very straight, and then pushing himself back. Very good. Kirikashi, I believe. Yes. Very fluid. Okay, I want to mention a couple points on Kirikashi here. And again, if you have any questions about this, let me know. But when you're doing Kirikashi, the main thing as a receiver, you want to wait for that contact when you're doing Taatari. If you're not doing Taatari, you're going backwards, you don't want to move any time before the moment of impact. So being motodachi, especially for Kirikashi, it's very important. So now when he does the fumikomi, many people when they do a fumikomi and they know they're gonna do Taatari, they just stop here. He's not stopping. He's going in forward, continuing, right? Like if you see the steps after the fumikomi, it's like he just did men and just continued his regular footwork. Not pushing. You see how he keeps the hands forward? Augusto, welcome to the stream. Thank you for passing by. So he wants to go in forward like he just did men and then transition into the side cuts. You don't want to push the person back. I see a lot of times people coming in, boom, they hit, and then just kind of bring the hands back to crash and push the person back. You shouldn't. Just do a regular man. Your motodachi is going to give you a little bit of resistance, but then immediately he should be moving back. Very fluid, very fluid. Look at synchronization with the legs and the hands. If the text would let us see it. We're gonna see another angle. Shen, welcome. Thank you for passing by. Okay, there's one point I want to mention too. Let's see, do we see it again or do I have to go back? Okay, they move forward, so let me just go back a little bit. Not to that one, to this one. So there's a couple of things. After you do your whole set, and when you're coming forward, he is pushing with the left leg to create the impact, right? Now, there's two ways of starting kirikaeshi. Give me 1 second. Okay, so right here, they're starting at this distance. This is something interesting. There's something that I've discussed with a couple people, and this is something that I want you to not copy specifically incorrectly, because this is hard to explain. But he's not using okuriashi here, right? He's using tsugiashi. So he's transitioning from the left foot and he's moving forward. This is tricky because many senseis will tell you that this is not correct, right? What's happening here that I think it's making it okay is that he's constantly pushing. I'm gonna try to go frame by frame. He's constantly pushing with the left. He lifts the hands as he's pushing with the left leg, and then really quick re-engages the left to push forward. Many people what end up doing is that they just cross the left foot and they just hold themselves as the momentum is going forward. So essentially, they're stepping in, and then as they stepping in, they just lift the hands, and it's not the same engagement. So it's very tricky. I don't know if you noticed those details before when you see a lot of the police doing kirikashi, that they do it like this. They use sugiashi, but I don't want that to be misinterpreted as, we're making a mistake and justifying the mistake, because I don't feel it is slightly different that what I normally see, or even I do myself sometimes. The way I try to do kirikashi is I try to come in from one step, take one sharp step, and then engage. If you're going to do it like this again, you have to engage your left foot immediately. Augusto, you said also the suriashi is really controlled, doesn't seem to be passing the right foot. Correct. Sugiashi is the step you take versus a very tall opponent that has longer reach than you have. You need a way to be at the edge of their one-step cut, the one-step cut distance, and only take one step to reach him. So it's pretty cool because this is one way that you can use Tsugiyashi, and just make sure that you're using it correctly, because a lot of times people they just cross the feet, right? So it's kind of like they just move the left foot to the next step, and they just do as a regular, like kind of like a transition between Ayumiashi and Okuriashi. But Sugiyashi, you need to it's kind of like do double fumikiri, I guess, if that makes any sense. And don't get me wrong, please, I'm still studying this, and especially how to explain it. So please don't quote me on all this stuff. But yes, the Okuriashi during the kirikaeshi is very controlled. Very controlled. Also, the cuts are going forward. He is cutting into the opponent, not going for the shiai. That's another thing, right? You want to have a strong hit towards the opponent, not the shiai. Okay. Okay. Uchikomi. Okay, small man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you guys. One thing that I'm working on right now is that relaxation after the man. This moment right here. So he's being very energetic. I wish it took away this text right here. That sucks. But he's being very energetic. But I feel for me there's a lot of tension on my shoulders, and I'm noticing something so minute is that when I'm going for the man, let's say that, okay, let me try to So you know, some people have the habit of when they hit, they go up, but they don't go up like he just did. We're gonna watch it again. But he just did like going up like this, right? They go up and open up the elbows, right? So this is wrong. You need to make sure that you don't open up your elbows like this at any point. So I noticed that this like last class that I'm attacking forward, and then after I'm ever so slightly opening my right elbow here and creating this kind of weird tension. So I need to be more mindful of this. And it's so funny how that's such a little detail, but it's kind of like so upsetting when that happens. So I'm doing this, guys, just so you guys kind of get a feel of why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to see if we can pick up some of these things and apply them to our own kendo. What can we see that we're looking for to put into our own kendo? For example, right now for me is this specific element, being able to go through fluidly after a really good impact, and being able to have the best position I can so I can turn around and be ready as well. Now, another thing, let's talk a little bit about the footwork after the attack. So, this is a talk that I was having with somebody at the dojo as well. Hold on, let me make sure this camera's better. Look at the feet. So you could argue that the feet cross, right? Because the left foot is landing past the right foot. But if you notice, there's one thing. Maybe this was last episode, was a bad example, but he is not stopping the momentum. He is going in immediately, pulling himself forward like almost like a fumikomi, and the left foot is landing past where the right foot was, but still not passing the right foot. The main thing, the reason why I say this is because I feel that sometimes, or a lot of times, people, when they go through an opponent, they focus so much in not crossing the leg that they kind of purposely cut their momentum by landing their foot before or behind where the right foot was. So number one thing you need to do is just learn to be fluid, and then understand this point. Not to cross the legs doesn't mean to, because of the momentum, your speed, your body is taking you forward. You don't want to cut off your momentum. So yes, you want to move the right foot out of the way, but you don't want to land your left foot behind of where it should land, just because you're trying to avoid crossing the legs. I hope that makes sense. Please ask your questions about that, because this is, I think, very important, really easy to kind of misinterpret. And I think it makes a big difference in your kendo when you do it correctly. So for example, here, you see he does the fumikomi. And when he does the fumikomi, his left foot, okay, the fumikomi is lifting his body. So I don't know which one is which. I think this is the left foot. So the left, oh no, this is the left foot. So the left foot is landing past where the fumikomi was, right? And then the right foot is just continues the momentum, and in here it's a little bit more evident, right? The left foot is passing where the right foot was. Okay, I'm saying left and right so many times it's becoming kind of annoying. But I don't know. I really hope you understand this. What I'm trying to say. So sometimes people try to land before the right foot, so they kind of hold themselves back and anchor themselves back where they shouldn't, and this cuts their momentum or makes them not go with sutemi, not go with a lot of power, a lot of commitment into a technique, making them slow, making them hesitate, and it's just not good. Another thing is look at the use of the hands and the motion of the man, right? It goes up and straight forward. The tip goes up and forward, not back. Very nice, very nice. Now, this one is interesting, and mainly because how the body looks as he does it. You guys know a few, maybe last week, I think it was, or the week before, I posted a video on kote. And this is something about doing kote with energy and with a lot of, strength. So he's pushing in, he's starting the motion with the hands a little bit after. He does this leap and he's literally in the air with both feet and he hits the kote. So this is one of the things that I think if we try to replicate like this by this picture, we're gonna end up in a very awkward position. But what I'm trying to say here is that engage the left leg and push yourself out of it. A lot of times I see, and I'm victim of this as well, hitting the kote with both feet kind of on the ground still, and then people pushing with the left to move forward. You want to have that momentum forward without being caught by the fumikomi. You see, he kind of has this flinch when he hits, that he kind of arches his back. It looks kind of weird, right? Oh, now we're gonna see a comparison here. Let's see. I'll do the last one frame by frame. So, okay, so he pushes with the left. Again, at the moment of impact, that leg is going forward, right? It's going in. And you see there was a little bit of a twist of the body, but then immediately when the left leg landed, he fixed it. He went forward with straight body towards his opponent. So, Shen, you're asking if the timing of the shiai hitting the kote should be when both of your feet are midair. I'm afraid if you explain it like this, it's gonna be open to a lot of misinterpretation, because again, I'm not saying you should have air on your kote. What I'm saying is that you should have momentum at the moment of impact. So you shouldn't aim to have air. You should just aim to get out of your left foot as quickly as possible. So especially with kote, so there's this thing that there's this thing that the farthest that you have to travel with your sword, the more time it's going to be between the impact and the left leg landing. Landing after he did the fumikiri, right? So after the fumikomi. So when the technique is closer, it should be less time. So I think this is why we're seeing air at the time of kote, because he is pushing himself off the ground so hard, and he's trying to make it where he hits the kote and then does the fumikomi. So I don't think he's aiming for air at all. I'm not saying do this because I think it's gonna create more bad habits. What I'm saying is he is pushing himself into position, trying to make the left leg come in as quick as possible, getting it ready to move for the next technique. So because the technique is closer, it has less time to get there between the time that the right leg left for fumikomi. So this is why we're seeing air. If you saw the other guy is taller, but I think he attacked from a little bit farther. He had, watch. Let me see. He had some air, right? It's not the same, right? He doesn't have the same kind of like the same jump that Takanabe had. He still had some air, but the timing of the fumikomi, you should time the end of your technique, the end of your cut with your fumikomi. and then you should try to bring your left leg as quick as possible. Some people say that even to make it where the fumikiri lands immediately with the fumikomi or shortly after. This is ideal, but it's not always possible depending how far you have to attack. What I do like and what I do want to point out here from Takanabe's kote is that many people, oh, hold on, can you see my, oh, sorry. You guys weren't looking at my video. My bad. Okay, so if you look at Takanabe's kote right here, many people, they will throw their hands down this way, and then the shiai tip will come up on this angle, just like he has it on Kamae right now, right? But if you look at where he hits it, okay, so many people would do here and then keep pushing down to hit the Kamae, to hit the kote, but instead he's actually coming in forward, making the tip come down. So essentially what I'm saying is, if you come in for the kote, pushing down in this angle, right? You gotta come from below, and it's gotta be high chances of you actually hitting the suba, right? So what you want to do is you want to try to come from above. So in this case, okay, he had to put the hands down to get the lift of the tip, but immediately he brings it to come from above, to hit from above. Less resistance, more extension. You have more extension, so less chance of the, because the other way he have to be closer, so high chances of the opponent doing men on him. So I think this is also very crucial, very important on hitting kote. You want to have full extension. As a matter of fact, I mentioned that in the last video kote that I did. Okay, play. So here, look, okay, the hand's coming down to get the tip out of the way, right? Notice he's not pulling around to go around, pulling back to go around the sword. He's just keeping the right hand where it's supposed to be, and then bringing the left hand up. Takanabe here received a little bit high, so it looks a little bit different than what Takanabe looked like, but still you can see the essence of it, that the left hand is not down here, it's coming up. This is the thing that we should practice more than people can get very aggressive on. Okay, so actually, let me go back to this, to the miss attack, right? This is very important. So he is coming in. Look at the hands. The hands are staying within the body as much as possible. He reaches in just like he was going to do men, but instead of men, he extended the tip forward. And okay, he missed. Fine. Look what happens after. He immediately readjusts, like lets go of the pressure, not trying to be harmful to your partner, right? This happens, it's okay, just readjust, go forward, readjust, and keep going, sorry. And then here, okay, he connected. Very, very, very nice. Force forward, and immediately you take the shiai out. You don't want to try to harm the opponent, right? So again, you want to come straight forward, just like if you're doing men. Very important, I'm gonna say after this Latsuki. Okay. Uh, Receiving Tsuki. When you're receiving Tsuki, you don't want to move back before the attack, right? You want to receive it, give a little bit of resistance, but then don't fight it, right? You want to just allow the energy to dissipate through your body. Just make sure you don't move out of the way. And of course, if you're earlier on practicing Tsuki, you want to be very careful and understand the motions. Maybe you don't even do Fumikomi at the beginning, just to understand how to do Fumikomi properly. This Kotemen is a little bit weird for me, right? Because there's a stop, and it's okay. You know, different scenarios, different ways of practicing is fine. So, but what I like about it though is that it's kind of hitting the kote and making it a little bit into a realistic scenario where maybe the person tried covering and he went for kote, maybe he missed, and he gets the opportunity for the man. So instead of really working on just being fast, now I think he's working on understanding the opening, and this case will be kind of one of those openings that is made because the opponent made a mistake. So I think it's very valuable to also practice it this way as well. So you see, this is another way of doing it. Now he's just going continuous. I don't know. How do you guys practice Koteman? Is it similar to this? You see the change of timing? Not only that, not only the change of timing, but look at the path of the sword. Look, he goes for kote around, and then almost like a katsugi into the man, right? And then we're gonna look at his partner. Okay, so this one you see it's a little bit more kind of like textbook style, right? Where he's going in straight forward into the kote. Ah, I went too far, too fast. Hold on, give me 1 second. So from here, okay, comes in for the kote, very straightforward, and immediately goes in for the man, trying to get as compact as possible and a fluid motion. Very, very, I think, very good approach as well. Two different approaches of how they're practicing kote men. Very different, the first, the Takanabe version, very different than just stopping there and then waiting for the opening. He's just hitting the kote, holding for the opening as he keeps the momentum forward, right? So what I'm trying to say, don't cut the momentum between kote and the men. So now I think they're working here on a little bit of the entry, right? And how the control of the sword starts working in. Very interesting points to keep in mind. A lot of people, when they are coming into the technique, they want to get the sword out of the center by pushing to the side. And the biggest thing here is that he's doing that, but he's doing that towards the center. You see, he's cutting into the sword, going into the center, making the opponent open up slightly to the side, and then in one motion, he comes in forward. Okay, we're gonna see another angle, I believe. So here, I want you guys to understand as well, the moment that he's doing the push of the sword, he's doing that as he's moving forward. Look. You see, he's doing that with momentum forward. You cannot do it and then decide to move. And, okay. Again, it comes with that old Kendo video music, so let me lower it down a little bit. Give me 1 second. I want to show you guys something real quick. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. So right here, he's doing a little bit of, and Shen, if you're still here, then you'll find this interesting as well. He's doing a little bit of that tsugiashi right here, right? Which is very interesting because he's doing that, I guess, to engage faster, maybe. Very interesting. So hold on, let's watch it on this side over here. So you see, right now he has a little bit of a wide stance. So as he's coming in forward, because he's pushing with the left leg, he is switching the left foot to the right foot and then immediately going in for the man. Very interesting, very interesting. And just the way he does it is very cool as well. Let's watch full speed. So essentially, the main mistake that people make when doing tsugiashi is that they move the left foot without creating momentum. And if you notice here, he's not doing that. He's creating momentum first and then moving the left foot. Look, you see? Maybe the other angle will be a little bit better to see. So here, watch what he's going to be doing with the left leg. He's going to be pushing with the left leg, creating momentum, and then moving the left leg. Very different than just bringing in the left leg. There, even it almost looked like he took a step. And I think he's doing this because he started with such a wide stance, and it's okay. So I think this is also something that maybe we don't take the time to practice, or maybe we do it mindlessly. And, right left approach coming in to go for men, right? Look, moving around and then taking the center and going for the man. It's very important that we do this mindfully, right? Not mindlessly. Many times I see people, they just move randomly and then they just go. It's a little bit different, right? Right now it's trying to make it a little bit of a live situation where both partners are moving, both partners are communicating, and then at some point the partner is going to kind of give the opening by freezing, by pretending to freeze or something, and the partner should be taking advantage of that opportunity. Shen, you're saying, okay, so lean forward first. Not leaning forward. Okay, this is one of the mistakes that I feel that we want to avoid. It's not about leaning forward. It's about starting the momentum with the left leg. You want to start your energy. You want to start your movement with your left leg. So it's not leaning forward. It's that he's moving first before moving the leg. He's making his body move before moving the leg. It's different between, oh, I'm gonna use gravity versus I'm gonna create momentum with my legs. Again, I would suggest like this may be something that you don't want to copy from watching the videos like this, because again, there's a lot of things that we're not understanding from there. But mainly is that when you're advancing, you don't want to just depend on gravity. You want to be purposely moving, because in that way you can also adjust to any situation the opponent can have. And then Shen, but if you move the left up first, then it's a bad habit. So what it's a bad habit is people, listen, 1 second. Where's my, okay. One of the biggest challenges that beginners have is to be able to lift the sword at the same time that they're moving, right? This motion is not, we take it for granted because we've been doing it for a long time, but it's not an easy motion to do. It's not really a natural motion to do as well. To have both hands coming up as the left leg is holding all your weight, right? And especially the left hand, because normally when we walk, we kind of walk this way, right? So when you're pushing with the left leg, naturally you want to do this rather than this. So what you want to avoid is to just moving the legs. And there's a difference between, I don't have a camera set up right now for this, but imagine that here I'm moving my body because I push with my left leg, or I can move my leg. So right now my leg is moving, and then lifting the sword. This is where the bad habit is. So ideally what you want to be when you're in kamae, you're constantly pushing forward. So moving your leg without your body moving means that you're disengaging your left leg ever so slightly, right? And you're just putting all your weight on the right leg. And that's how you get caught without being able to move. So ideally, you want to push your body in, and then you want to push your body in and then kicking forward, right? You don't want to, okay, I'm gonna move forward by just moving the leg. You want to kick, literally like fumikiri, literally like a fumikiri. You said because you notice your sensei keeps telling you to stop moving your left foot right before attacking. And again, it could be because you're creating this habit of disengaging your left leg. And again, many senseis don't like tsugiyashi. And again, there's a reason for it, because a lot of times, if not most of the times, we do it wrong. So you want to avoid landing yourself into this position where you're doing this just by moving your foot rather than engaging your body. Hope that makes sense. And you can see it on how they do it, right? Let's see if the other guy does it. Just because he has a different body style, so maybe it'll be interesting to... Oh no, he didn't do it on the one before. But again, it's about moving. Watch the slow motion, right? You see here? So here he's gonna do it differently, right? Because he's doing an okuriashi. And look. So from here, the next step he's going to go to retake his center and immediately go forward. As a matter of fact, he actually kind of pushed forward even before. Your goal, I guess, Shanna, that's the best way I can say it right now. So your goal is not to move your feet, but instead to close the distance with your opponent. You don't want to just be there moving the feet because you think the feet in a different position is going to allow you to get closer. It's not about the feet, it's about the body being in motion. This is also another one that is very, very cool, and it's a great practice for the gashira, right? Because you want to understand that you want to have your body ready. So in this opportunity, he puts a little bit of pressure, and then when his opponent moves, he decides to go in for the men. A lot of times people, they think that to do this is just you waiting there for them to move, then you decide to move. If you do this, you will always be late. You have to be extremely faster than your opponent in order to be able to catch him, because even when the opponent is slower than you, if they're moving, most likely they can get you easier than you can get them. And this is the reason why senseis always get you, even if you're younger and faster. So you see, he was already in motion. Let me go back just ever so slightly. You watch. So you see, he puts the pressure and engages the momentum forward. His opponent, because it's a drill, starts advancing immediately. And as he advances, Takanabe keeps the momentum going forward without holding. Let's say that this is a real situation and his opponent doesn't advance. Well, what else you do? He doesn't have to commit to that momentum that he created. But if the opponent does move forward, if he doesn't have the momentum, then he's behind. Does that make sense? So essentially, even though that he's not, that that he's not moving his body. I mean, even though that he's not leaving his position, he still has a little bit of momentum built in already. Already the muscles are engaging on the way forward and ready to go. Okay? It's very important. It's very important to keep it this way. Oh, what happened here? Okay. It's very important to keep it this way in order to take advantage of when your opponent makes a mistake. I remember a few years back, I was training with a sensei, and I was visiting, and he was giving his lecture to his students. And one thing that he said kind of stuck with me a lot, and is that in kendo you never stop moving. That doesn't mean that you have to keep always stepping into your opponent. Doesn't mean that you have to keep going into the attack. You want to be able to be ready. And how you do this, let's say that you are not leaving that position, like what you said, like Takanabe, it's in one position. He's not in one position waiting. He's in one position, but constantly having this feeling, right? Having this feeling, if you see, I'm trying to replicate it in the camera or whatever. If he needs to move here, well, maybe he needs to move forward a little bit. Or maybe, oh, okay, the pressure wasn't right, so maybe he goes back a little bit. Maybe he just retracts his right foot, and then he keeps going, he keeps trying it. Maybe, okay. But you never want to just sit still. You don't want to just sink in. This one, when I say sink in or sink in kendo, this is what I'm referring to. Does that make sense? You guys have any questions about this? Or anything else? So, interesting enough, a few days ago, I posted this video about a practice in Japan where one of the kids is kind of like beating the other one up. By the way, I'm 99.9% sure that was staged, by the way, because a lot of times we get this out of context, but it's very interesting to observe this because I'm not gonna say that this was never real, like this never ever happened before, because I'm sure that things like this have happened, and I witnessed a couple of things happening like this. But one of the things is that it's interesting to see the attitude that people have towards kendo after this. A lot of times, because many people, when I see many people, they say, "Oh, okay, no wonder why people don't go back to the dojo." And some senses they try to do this within a culture that doesn't kind of accept it, right? And they end up losing students or end up being in a bad situation with their students. But when you see a lot of times this happening in Japan, I've seen it, and then 2 seconds after, like people are hugging and just having fun or joking. Normally, I've seen this with like students, so it's very interesting to see. This is one of the biggest culture shocks that I feel like many Western kendoka can have about seeing this type of things in kendo, especially in Japan. But that being said, it's not common to see it either, right? I don't know if anybody here has been there practicing seeing this type of things, but it's an interesting. I think it was an interesting video because even though they did it jokingly, this is things that could happen, and it's just an interesting point. I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess, give my 2 cents, guys. So today I kind of needed to do a shorter stream, so I'm gonna cut it off to here. I'm going to continue this video and go into the more advanced techniques for the next stream. I'm gonna see if I can do one during the week. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I am going to leave the more advanced techniques for next week. I'm sorry, guys, I have a couple of things to take care of. But that being said, if you guys have any questions, anything I can help you with, please let me know. You can pass by in the description below is the Discord server, so you can pass by the Discord. You can talk to us about kendo, have some fun, watch some kendo together, or just discuss any random things about kendo or Japan in general. And if you need me, I'll be there. You can also send me messages or comments here through YouTube. Again, Shen, thank you very much as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody for passing by. If you haven't, just hit the like button just to make sure this gets pushed out to more people, and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, I appreciate it. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your weekends, and please get some practice. If you have somebody that you know that is testing this weekend, giving my best, telling them to do their best, and keep me updated if people pass, okay? Thank you very much, guys, for being here. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Take care. Bye.